The Honda CMX1100 Rebel landed in 2021 as the beefiest bike in the Rebel lineup, and it's been turning heads ever since. It's a bobber-style cruiser, but Honda didn't go the traditional route. Instead of slapping a classic V-twin, they borrowed the 1084cc parallel twin from the Africa Twin adventure bike and tuned it for cruiser life. The result? Something punchier, livelier, and way more versatile than most bikes in this class. It's not your granddad's cruiser, and that's kind of the whole point. What's new? 5 years in, the CMX1100 has had a few tweaks along the way. Color options have come and gone, but the big one was a proper update in 2025. Honda gave it a more relaxed riding position, bumped the compression ratio, chucked in a TFT dash with Honda RoadSync, added a USB-C charger up front, and sharpened the throttle response. Most importantly, they finally sorted the seat. One of the biggest gripes from owners was that the stock seat turned your backside numb in under an hour. Not great for a cruiser. The 2025 seat is noticeably more padded, and it makes a real difference on longer rides. Price-wise, the 2026 model sits at £9,999, about £1,000 more than when it launched, but still pretty competitive for what you get. What's it like to ride? Short answer, brilliant. The Africa Twin Source engine puts out 8.6 bhp and 72.3 feet-lb of torque, which sounds modest, but in real-world riding it feels more than enough. It pulls cleanly from low revs and still has plenty left when you want to open it up, none of that flat, plodding feeling you get from old-school cruisers. The chassis is surprisingly agile too, which catches a lot of people off guard. Yes, it's got the bobber looks and a proper cruiser riding position, but it'll hold its own on a twisty mountain road without making you feel like you're fighting the bike. It's an oddly brilliant combination. Back when it launched, we called it a genuine giggle, and honestly, nothing's changed. It's just as happy cruising a seafront at a lazy pace as it is properly hustling down a B-road. Don't pigeonhole it just because it looks like a cruiser. There's a lot more going on underneath. Things to watch for when buying used to. Good news is the CMX1100 is generally a solid, dependable bike. Honda build quality is reliable, and the engine is proven across multiple models. That said, there are a few things worth checking before handing over your cash. There are 3 recalls on the Big Rebel, one for a potentially leaky radiator cap, 2021 models only, one for dodgy ECU programming that could cause misfires and stalling, 2021 to 2024 models, and one for improper crankcase sealing that could lead to oil leaking onto your rear tire while riding. Ideally, the recall work's already been done, but if not, it's free at a Honda dealer. Just factor in the faff of getting it sorted. Rust inside the frame is another one to look out for. Water can get in around the seat area and just sit there, eventually turning into rusty sludge that can even start lifting the paint. Pull the frame drain plugs when checking a used bike and see what comes out. A squirt of anti-corrosion product inside. The frame is good preventative maintenance if you own one. Some owners have reported a front-end wobble at motorway speeds, which has often been blamed on the stock Dunlop tires. Swapping them out for a different brand tends to solve it. Also keep an eye on DCT models. Honda's automatic gearbox is generally great, but some owners report it can be jerky between gears. A relearning procedure and keeping the chaining good. Nick helps keep it sorted. One quirk you might notice on used bikes is a non-standard seat. Because the original was so uncomfortable, pre-2025, loads of owners swapped it for an aftermarket one. Not necessarily a bad thing, just worth knowing. Service schedule nothing too demanding here. Minor service every 8,000 miles or 12 months oil and filter. Major service at 16,000 miles, which adds valve clearance checks and a few other bits. Air filter every 12,000 miles. Spark plugs inspected at 16,000 and replaced at 32,000. Brake fluid every 2 years. Coolant every 3. Keep an eye on the mileage when buying used. If it's creeping up to 16,000 miles, Use that as a bargaining chip since a major service is coming up. Which version should you go for? The base manual is the starting point at 9,999 pounds new. If you fancy Honda's DCT automatic gearbox, there's the Say DCT at 10,999 pounds, which comes with a front nose fairing, diamond stitch seat and bar-end mirrors, a bit more of a custom look. Then there's the TDCT Touring at 11,699 pounds, which adds 35 liters of hard luggage and a small front fairing for longer trips. On the used market, DCT models command roughly 1,000 pounds more than manual equivalents. Is it worth buying in 2026? Absolutely. Used prices sit between 5,500 pounds, 8,500 pounds, depending on age, condition, and spec, which is solid value. It's one of those bikes that genuinely works as a daily rider, weekend blaster, and light tourer all in one, without asking you to make the usual cruiser compromises. Road tax is 121 pounds a year, and the built-in HIS immobilizer helps keep insurance reasonable. If you want cruiser looks without cruiser limitations, the CMX1100 Rebel is probably the smartest buy in the class right now.